things. So it is only because of this NAC accreditation and NAB or NIRF or other different accreditation rating things, now these things have come into forefront. Otherwise, prior to this, it was just engineering and your liberal art courses where they were having root kind of learning. Whereas in our professional, which is observable or visible, outcome which is measurable, outcome which is actionable. So that is what is basically is what outcome is. So now this outcome-based education is, we have slowly shifted from teacher-centric learning to basically student learning. That means it has become more student-centric. Now student has been given more choices in selecting their subjects. Now, as per the new NEP policy also, you must all be aware that now they've got choice-based credit system, which they can select. They've got, they can also custom-made their program. They can also custom-made as to from where they will be getting their teaching. They can select their teachers also. They can also custom-made as to when they are ready to give assessment. So all this thing is only possible if we have got outcome-based education embedded in our curriculum. So this outcome-based curriculum is also driven as to what we learn from students who are existing from our courses. So that is what is first thing which we are doing. Second, we all expect our students to know, understand, and to do all these things. As teacher, as institution, we have to provide these learning activities to students so that they can help reach the outcome which we have spelled out right at the beginning. Now we have given them environment. We know they wanted to do something. Is there any proper assessment criteria for it or not? That is what we have to see. Last one, because it is measurable, because it is attainable, and we can measure it, we can further strive forward to do continuous progress and know where all the gaps which are there. This can only happen if we all come into form of outcome-based education. Now, basically, the terminology normally which is used in outcome-based education is what is spelled out on the viewfold. That is, we have a program. So if you have a program, it's got to have certain outcome, or the program outcome has to be there. Like for our BR courses, we have got BR, BMR courses, which is available. Now, each courses have got certain, basically, each program has got certain courses under it. Like we have got architecture design, construction, history of architecture, building services, structures. These are what is in outcome-based education termed as courses. And these courses are nothing but like our subjects which we are teaching. So that means the whole concept, which I have already explained earlier, is in OBE, that attainment of the intended learning outcome, which we have spelled out right in the beginning. It is holistic, and it is learning experience which you are able to do, and for which side, as to first we plan all the outcomes. That means you plan what is the mission, what are the program education objectives. I will be coming to these terms later on in my next viewfold. That is, you have your program learning outcomes, you have your course learning outcomes, you're planning all these things. How do you plan? After you plan all these things, you do this by making changes in your course syllabus, by making adjustment in the pedagogy in which you're teaching. You are also making changes in your learning processes, and you're also spelling out all your assessment criteria which is there. Once you have spelled out all these things, then you do checks as to whether my program is going to that level. That level 1 is a course level, whether I'm able to achieve those outcomes. Program level, I'm able to achieve those outcomes. And at university level, whether I'm going forward towards that mission which we have already fixed for the particular program, whether we are going in align with it. That is all alignment thing is what is being checked at this stage. And last one is, after you know whether there is some deviation or something, you can make improvement, and continuously gaps which are there can be addressed. So this is what is basically the concept of what we do in outcome-based education. That is if you see this viewfold, at university level, you've got vision and mission. Then you have got your program education objectives. These program education objectives are objectives which we are going to see after the course has run for at least 3 to 5 years. That means our students have gone inside the field and delivered something to our employer or to a prospective employer and the stakeholders. So this can only be judged after they've gone to the field. That means it is few years after graduation. How this is judged? This is being judged by having interaction with industry people, by having interaction with the employers, by doing those surveys. I'll be talking about these things once we know how these things are being attained and how they are judged. Next comes your program of outcomes. These are outcomes which has to be there if any students take BArch program. So what are the graduate attributes which he or she must have on completion of the course is all spelled out there. So normally NAB, that is your national accreditation, your process has already, basically India has already given us certain 12 sort of program outcomes which should be there. So we'll be just seeing those. Then under this program outcomes, we have courses. So each courses have got its own outcomes, and they are the learning attributes, and which is normally achieved once you complete that particular course. And these are done by regular assessments, whether it could be internal assessment, could be external assessment, and what are the types of assessment and how they can be done is what we are going to talk about it later. Once a student passed out, this is what the the National Accreditation Board has spelled out these 12 to 15 kind of graduate attributes which a person should have on commerce or graduate. It is in 3 levels. One, what is a knowledge, disciplinary knowledge which he has attained, and what are the skills he have attained, like communication skill, critical thinking skill, problem solving skill, analytic reasonings, whether research-related skills he have achieved or not. This we do it by dissertation and other thing, whether he's got that reflective thinking available with him, what he has done, whether it's proper or not, whether he can make course correction in that, information and digital literacy is there or not. Now, this is what is information and digital literacy is where technology is moving fast, whether we are abreast with it or not, whether that is not, is also becomes part of our curriculum design. Then is there a self-directed learning which is available? Whether third one is your metacognitive level, that is attitudes which you have got, basically whether he is able to work in a team or not. Scientific reasoning is there, moral ethnic awareness and reasoning is there, whether he's got the leadership quality available with him or not. And let me tell you, last one is the lifelong learning. Why I always say learning happens in 4 ways. One is a learning which is given by a teacher. Next is learning which you get from your basically friend, that kind of learning. After also I become graduate, I still learn, I still keep on learning. Like I am also today through this process, I'm also learning as to what are the outcomes. And our time it used to be more teacher-centric, transparent. Now the whole system has become more what you have to achieve and how to say what the role is going to be in life learning. I'm taking after taking part in these things. Now, I have just got one of the, I took up one, that is, this is what is really has for will be best suited for this. Then that becomes a kind of evaluation. That is where I'm asking student about evaluating the kind of thing. Last one is, okay, for a given problem, in case you have to, which I've got for the course. Now, in this